I am proud as hell to have Katie Robertson here today. Let's bring her on and show some pictures about her service. This is cool. Wait till you see this. There she is. There she is. There's my girl. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Here. So happy you're here. So Katie, I know you're an advocate for women's rights issues, but I want to go through these pictures. And Nicholas, please ask any questions about these pictures. But go ahead and put those up, MC, and let everybody just kind of talk about what's going on. And let Katie, that's you right there, right?
Yeah, that is. I know I look like a baby. But I was a captain. I really was a captain. Yep. This is coming back from Afghanistan.
Oh,
yep. And then that's in Afghanistan and an Apache.
Oh, wow. I've never been in one of those.
That's in a Black Hawk in Afghanistan.
Oh. Yeah.
And then this is me being promoted to captain. I'm in my Stetson because I was in a cavalry unit, 6.6 cavalry.
So you were stationed where?
Fort Drum, New York.
Oh, okay. All right.
Home of the 10th Mountain. Yeah. So this is training to go to Afghanistan. I think all of my pictures are circled around Afghanistan for some reason, but I did deploy to Iraq as well.
Oh, okay.
But I was too much of a baby back then. In Iraq, I was a second lieutenant. You know, I was just such a baby.
Butter bar.
Yes. See, I knew it. I knew you got called me that.
Sorry, that's what we always call them. Hey, here comes the butter bars. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So naive. Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about, with you about advocacy for women and how to support women and ways to raise our voices and support each other and be active about that kind of thing. Are you part of any kind of organization right now or who do you, looky there. You went on a march, for goodness sakes. Tell me about that.
I did. That's the Women's March in Washington, D.C. That's the first Women's March in Washington, D.C. So that was right after Trump had gotten elected and, all those women in pink hats and stuff. I got my pink hat after that. One of the women was very kind and sent me one. But
I think Nicholas was there because they're a bunch of women. So I know wherever women are, Nicholas is there.
well, I can't say I haven't marched recently, but but no, I haven't been there. I want to go there. I have many friends who have participated in the Women's March, and I just want to hear more about it.
Yeah. I mean, that was incredible. And it's, to me, they don't have any. If you watch feedback from the news and stuff, they didn't have any overhead footage of Washington, D.C.'s Women's March. They don't. They had LA, they have New York, they had, all these other huge cities. They don't have Washington, D.C. because Trump prevented anything from being in the air. Nobody could take any kind of overhead footage. And they claimed that there was only 900,000 people, but we couldn't even actually move in the march because the entire parade route, the entire march was filled with women. So nobody knew that you couldn't actually move in the beginning. And so then they started flooding the streets. And then what was incredible was the how peaceful it was, because the day before was the inauguration. And there was some protests and some honestly Trump people trying to find anybody who was, anti-Trump, whatever, and they're trying to beat them up and stuff like that. And then you go the very next day, it's so peaceful with that many people. And not one issue at all. I mean, the police were high-fiving us, and it was just this really incredible thing. I mean, I will say though that experience and how beautiful that was is so disheartening to think of this past summer and how you're treated for a different color. You know what I mean? I mean, Nicholas. I mean, obviously you feel that. I just couldn't believe you have peaceful people. These beautiful people who come out for a beautiful cause, and it's just to be seen as equals and treated as equals. I mean, that's all you're asking for. And yet this, and it's just all of a sudden National Guard is taken out because they're all this stuff. And then the whole, and then, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I hated the whole insurrection recently. The insurrection recently of there's not, I was sitting there screaming at the television and I'm talking to my little brother who was in the Air Force and I'm going, what is happening? Where's the National Guard? Where's the SWAT? Where's all of this stuff? I mean, why is it that they're in place way prior just because some persons of color come, and then they're nowhere to be seen when I'm like, who didn't know? You want to like go on the street? Let's do like a street thing and go, who didn't know that they were going to Washington with guns? Like, who didn't know they were going to Washington to be violent? Like, you ask anybody on the street, they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I knew. But like the FBI and everything, they're going, I had no idea. The police are like, I don't know. We looked at this intelligence. We're like, I'm not sure about this. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, they say they're gonna have bombs, and they say they're gonna have weapons, and they say they're gonna like kill all these people. But I don't know. I think they seem like actually pretty nice people.
There's good on both sides. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
The cool part is we can stand together. I mean, I definitely identify with everything Katie's talking about. And that's why I do everything I can to relate and also seek to understand and then stand together, because it takes that. When you have those kind of questions being asked, it takes us standing together for equality and everything else.
Now,
absolutely. I think the big thing. Go ahead, Gail.
No. I want to hear you. You go for it. Whatever you were thinking, say it.
I was just thinking something that always happens that, you know, if you mention this past summer, you know, if you mention it to somebody who's on the right or who watched was Fox News, they'd say, well, it was violent. It was violent. You know, like it's so different because it was completely violent. Like you look at all the stores that were looted and everything. And it's like, even if you talk to police, which, you know, I have a good friend who's a LAPD, who's new on the job. He's a year LAPD. And he said he was there at those protests and they were peaceful. He's like, from like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., the most peaceful people. There was not really any issue whatsoever. He's like, and then it's the people who took advantage. And so it was a completely separate than the protest. It was completely separate. And like these people that took advantage and were vandalizing, and it wasn't, you know, just like one color, one group. I mean, there were elderly involved in it. If you watch this, I'm like, what is happening? But all of these people, they're taking advantage, and that is not right, because this is the protest, and these are the people that are like the agitators, the people that are ruining it for everybody, because they're thinking, I can get away with this because all I can do is just point out that, you know, yeah, but look at the Black people who are here, you know what I mean, the African American people who are here. Like it's like they're completely separate. But if you're a Trumper, if you're a Fox News watcher who believes in all the conspiracy theories, because you can't tell me that somebody like Tucker Carlson is like even educated. The man didn't even go to college, but we're all supposed to be listening to him as if he's like the mecca of everything. So I'm going on a tangent. I hate the racism. I hate I hate the inequality. I hate, like, no matter who it is, if it's women's marching, if it's any kind of group advocating for their own rights and their own, you know, like to be seen, it's just like, you're just so hated on. And it's as if, you know, like the white heterosexual males are going, they're trying to take away our rights. And it's like, we're trying to go, you know, we don't want to be down here. We just want to be up here on here. We don't want to put you down. No. You're not going anywhere down. We just want to be seen as equals. It's like, no, they need to be in their place. Anyway, that's my tangent.
You brought up Tucker Carlson, and I don't know if you know or not, but I've been losing my mind over Tucker Carlson for the last few weeks. I talked about him on the show. I mean, as a startup thing, about how his name you need to take that T off of his name and put a big fat F up there, because that's what he is. He's not a Tucker. He's, you know, I can't stand him. I'm sorry, Nicholas. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Well, I was just going to say, I only took one pair of Vans and the door was wide open. I mean, that's
right. That's right.
You're like, is it a crime if the door was open? The door was just, I mean, they were like, here.
You know.
So anyway, I want to list a couple of things about advocating for women, because I think it's important to think about the different ways that we can advocate for equal rights for everyone. And when I look at my little list here, I see that there's different things that apply to all kinds. You know, we're talking about marching and different groups marching, and these things apply, you know, to a lot of different marches and things. And one of the ways, you know, is to raise your voice, support one another, share the workload. You know, women do a lot of unpaid work, you know, cleaning and fetching, and laundry and stuff like that. And, you know, getting involved in running for office is another way to help, you know, support women who are running for office and work on those elections. Educating the future generation. That's another important way that, you know, we can support rights for everyone. I don't, you know, it is Women's Month. It was Women's Month last month, and now it's harassment, sexual trauma, and MST things in the military. This month is the VA campaign on the list. You know, they have a different one every month. And so I try to stick with, you know, the things that they're advocating every month and help out that way. But also to know your rights, to know exactly what your rights are and stand up for those rights, join in the conversation, and also give money to the cause. So that's my list of different things, you know, ways to take care of that. You know, I want to talk about LGBTQ plus. I get so confused, Katie. You just have to straighten me out. But I mean, you know, I just kind of, I don't want to make fun of it, but I have to because it's alphabet soup. I don't even know. I mean, you know, this has to be an open conversation about what these things are. And the military has had a really inconsistent history about, you know, gay rights in the military. I mean, what the heck is don't ask, don't tell, for God's sakes? I mean, you know, when we look back on that, I just go, okay, so I'm okay, but don't talk about it. You know what I mean?
I served under it. Right. I served in it. Like I served. It's extremely hard. When I joined, I went through Army ROTC at Florida State University. And so I remember that when I was signing up, like to do the classes and everything, they have you sign a paper and it says, I am not a homosexual and I do not have any homosexual tendencies or thoughts. And I said, and I raised my hand and I said, I'm sorry, I just want to, you know, chances are statistically that someone in here might be gay, you know, but I just want to say that I thought it's don't ask, don't tell. Like, so you can't ask. So nobody should be signing this, you know, and I remember my major, he was like, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? Because you're not gay anyway. I'm like, right. Yeah, that's accurate. And then I will never forget signing that. Like how hard my hand was shaking, my heart just like pounding, and it's just the worst feeling in the world. I mean, I cried after, you know, I had to excuse myself to the bathroom and cry. I mean, it's horrible. extremely hard to do that. And then, you know, like you're going through that, you know, I was investigated for homosexual conduct, you know, when I was, after I came back from Iraq, the first deployment. And that's because this woman who was my battle buddy, who I became really close with, obviously, if they're your battle buddy, you go everywhere with them when you're deployed. And she ended up having really bad PTSD and she beat me up. And they were like, well, this is either a cat fight or a lover's quarrel. That's what they said. And I'm like, like, that's not, it's ridiculous. And so they're like, well, this must have been a lover's quarrel. And so they're like, you know, don't worry, we're going to just bump you down back to, I just got promoted to first lieutenant. They're like, we're going to bump you back down to second lieutenant. And then, you know, don't worry, you'll eventually bounce back in your career. You're really young. You know, how does that sound? And I said, well, sir, I'm just going to sign. I'm going to check the box that says that I request trial by court-martial, because you have nothing on me. You have absolutely nothing, no evidence. And if this was a man, if there was a guy involved in any type of situation with this, that sergeant would be in, you know, Leavenworth, whatever, like, you know, like they would be in jail. But because we're two women, you said it's either a cat fight or lover's quarrel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, I said I will go to the media and I'm going to make sure everybody knows, because I'm not going down like this. I was like, and even if this makes me get out of the military, so what? Then I'm out of the military, but I will not go down like this, because it's not
Good
right.
For you.
And you know it.
Airborne. Yeah.
I was like, I go, how does that sound? That's how I finished that. I went, how does that sound?
Does that sound to you?
He was like,
well, you know what? Heterosexual women in the military are either whores or lesbians. I mean, they label us immediately in basic training. Everybody knows this, you know. So, I mean, we're there supposedly for the guys to be used, and it's like set up that way. It's in the language. Maybe not now. Things have changed substantially from Vietnam era me, but I mean, seriously, it was like the Wild West when I was in jump school, because the hookers were lined up around outside the EM club. They just assigned them as they went in the door. Here's a hooker for you. Here's a hooker for you. And I'm going, thank God. I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? So anyway, I know we've just got a little bit more time. So go ahead and say whatever you want to say. Nicholas, ask whatever you want to ask, and just be mindful, because we got another guest.
Absolutely. No, only one thing came to mind, and it was based upon something you had shared initially, Gail, was how things were for you and how you felt isolated and alone during jump school. And I was just wondering, I know that Katie served during a different era, and I was wondering what Katie's experience was along the same lines.
It was very lonely. I went through airborne school, and again, like I had the same experience of Gal, like that, you were either, a whore or lesbian type of thing. And we were all alone, and they make sure that you're pitted against one another, because they're like, only a certain amount of women are going to make it through jump school. And it's kind of like, you're thinking like, I'm going to be the one. And I would try as an officer, I was trying to get all the women together and say, they're messing with your head. And then when I went to, Iraq, that was my first experience being in a real unit. And I went to dinner and, to chow, and, we're at the dining facility. And so I sat with a bunch of the other male officers, because I was the only female officer in my unit. So I sat with the other officers, and then I was pulled aside after that and said, you can't sit with the male officers because, obviously it looks like you're sleeping with them. And I said, wait, but it was a group of officers, and they said, well, it's just optics. This is how it looks. And I said, okay. And so then next time I sat with a bunch of women sergeants, right? And then I was pulled aside and said, you can't sit with sergeants because that's fraternization. Officers can't sit with enlisted. I was like, okay. And so it was one thing after another that happened 4 times of different types of groups I was trying to, eat with. Like I couldn't even eat with a different units, like officer. I tried to with a flight surgeon, like on another, like a woman. And I'm like, I couldn't, because then you're a lesbian. And so then I said, I was like, because they're in a different unit. If they're in your unit, then it's like, okay, you can be battle buddies. So when I sat alone, and then I was pulled aside by my colonel and my command sergeant major at the time. And they said, look, they said, you can't sit alone. You can't go anywhere alone. You need a battle buddy. You can't go anywhere in Iraq alone. It's really bad, right? It's dangerous. And I said, well, I can't sit with male officers because I'm a whore and I'm sleeping with them. I can't sit with, and I gave them a list. I'm like, I can't even sit alone. So please tell me, sir, who I'm supposed to sleep with. Or sleep with. Oh my God. Who am I supposed to sit with?
That's funny. That's a good joke. I mean, yeah.
Right. No, but I was like, who am I supposed to sit with? And they said, and he just turned beet red, like completely, like it didn't dawn on him. Like, I'm alone, right. I'm so alone. And so what do I do? So he picked out the next person who walked by, who was this sergeant, and was like, you're going to be her battle buddy. So it was E5, and that's the woman who ended up beating me up later. But that's, what I mean? Like that was, that's my experience that's an example, a really good example of how it was over there. Or like, I was telling my fiance about how they don't provide women's feminine products there, or they didn't in Iraq. And so they'd get like a box, like somebody would finally get a box over there, right, of tampons. And those women were rinsing those tampons out and reusing them. And I found that out, and I was like, what the heck is going on? How come all of if you need anything in the military, it's provided to you, especially when you're deployed. So if we request feminine products, we need them. Well, then they said that's discrimination because men don't get certain, whatever. I go, what do men need? What do men need? A butt plug? Like this is like, what do they need? Like, it's so stupid. This is like a female anatomy thing. And they're like, well, it makes them look weak and stuff. And I was like, this is gonna end. And so I made sure that they got
tampons
boxes.
also plug bullet holes. So I sent those to my
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's right. So you need them in survival pack. That's right.
I did. I told them, I said, every guy should have a tampon on them just in case they get shot, because that's actually the best. And so that's actually because I said that. Gail, you're right. That is because I said that. They ordered so many tampons.
Well, you know what we have? I'm going to wrap this up, Katie, because we do have another guest. I could talk to you for hours. I thank you, Nicholas, for chiming in on this stuff. But I want to say one last thing. We have an issue right now at the VA where we can't get, feminine hygiene products. I mean, Renee Andresian is advocating for that all the time. And you get pushback, constantly pushback. It's kind of weird. That's what it is. Just freaking weird. So anyway, Katie.
Gail, I want to add real quickly that all VA facilities are required to provide care to transgender veterans or pay for services in the community. To find the LGBT Veteran Care Coordinator, that's the VCC at your facility, please reach out to them. And they will be the most knowledgeable about local resources pertaining to the VA facility near you.
Perfect support, Nicholas. Thank you very much.
And Gail, I just want to say one last thing.
Absolutely.
I just love that you opened the show as, saying that you're a VSO. Congratulations on that. We absolutely need better VSOs and more VSOs that have a heart and really truly are there to help veterans. Because I went through it when I was homeless, and one VSO just dismissed me, didn't believe me. And I finally got back up when somebody said, no, there's so many more out there. And so I went to the federal building, had the most amazing VSOs who were there for me, who got me help, expedited, because I was living in my car. And it's just incredible what you guys do. So I'm so happy, Gail, to hear that you're a VSO. So congratulations, and thank you guys for having me on the show.
It won't happen when I'm in my office. It won't happen. I will do everything I can. I promise you. Katie, thank you very much for being on the show. I love you dearly. I hope to see you soon in person. Oh, mask, no mask, whatever the heck. I'd love to go to lunch with you sometime. I want to see you again in person. I miss you.